This is coming through. This is in this fight that is going on between the Collegium and the NJAC. That battle is now further intensifying. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar has once again hit back at the Supreme Court. He declined to entertain the Attorney General on the point of the Supreme Court's advice. His comments come in the backdrop of a hearing that happened on the 8th of December in the Supreme Court over the Collegium row, wherein the Supreme Court advised the Attorney General to urge high constitutional posts to not make certain kinds of statements. Let's play out what Mr. Dhankar said, and then we'll go across to our legal reporter.
आप विधानसभा में न्यायालय का फैसला नहीं लिख सकते. You cannot script in legislature a judgment of the court. उसी भावना में court cannot legislate. It is as clear as anything else. अब आज के हालात क्या हैं? One-upmanship, public posting from judicial platforms. ये ठीक नहीं है.
Okay, I want to go across to Ananya Bhatnagar. Just put this into context for our viewers. What was the Vice President referring to? Did this come up in court? And of course, how does this fit in with this whole battle that's going over the collegium system and the appointment of judges?
Well, Zaka, on the last occasion when on December 8th, the matter was heard by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, after VP Dhankar had made certain comments over the NJAC and the collegium system, had advised the Attorney General to actually go and speak to these high constitutional posts, hinting at the Vice President and also at the Law Minister, clearly asking them to not make such a statement from such high constitutional post again. In fact, on the hearing that took place in January a few days ago, also Supreme Court reiterated and asked the Attorney General to do the same. So on that particular point, Mr. Dhankar had to say that such kind of advice from the Supreme Court is not acceptable. He has declined the Attorney General on that aspect and won't be considering that particular aspect. Apart from that, he said that judiciary and legislature and in fact a democracy can only function when these three parts of the democracy, that is the legislature, executive and the judiciary, go hand in hand. And in fact, he also said that public posting from judicial platforms is something that is not right and should not be done. He also said, in fact, that he would not accept the Supreme Court's advice about how high constitutional posts shall not make such a comment over systems that are in place, whether it's the collegium system or something else, is what VP Dhankar is trying to say. He, in fact, also stated that just like the legislature cannot script a constitutional judgment, just like the legislature cannot write a Supreme Court's judgment, a judicial work, the same applies to the judiciary as well, and the same should not be done by the judicial officers, is what VP Dhankar had to say. He was speaking in Rajasthan at a conference that was there. He was actually inaugurating that particular All India Presiding Officers conference that was scheduled in Jaipur. And these were the comments that have come in. And his comments become very, very important, Zaka, because, this is the third time that VP Dhankar has stepped into this particular debate. First, he spoke at the Ellen Singhvi lecture. The second time he spoke from the parliament, and now again he has said the same thing.
All right, Ananya, we'll leave it at that. Thanks very much, Ananya, our legal reporter there, putting into perspective why Vice President Dhankar said what he said. So this ongoing tussle between the executive and the judiciary set to continue. That's a wrap.